Alright guys, so this is for my returning students. Also, this is going to be for my new students. Okay, so some things to help you out to speed up your workflow in animation. So this is something I pulled together really quickly using still images. You could use video to do this. There's something called automate sequence. Okay, so instead of having to drag each one of these images or video into my timeline, I can go ahead and Adobe Premiere will automatically do it. The last thing I want to show you is this text right here that I placed. It looks like it's masking out the image below it. That's called track matting. So those are the two things I want to show you in this video. Okay. Alright, so when you have imported, so what I'm going to do is you have to import them and you have to put your images into a bin. So under assembly, I'm going to create, left click on new bin, call it flowers 2 because I already had this done. I'm going to double left click in it. I'm going to drag my images, left click, hold, and drag them in, and it's going to be imported. Okay, so each image, if I double click it, and I'm going to go back to editing if I left click on here. And so if I go ahead and if I right click where the blue timestamp is right here, I can go to frames. Okay, so when you're doing still images, you might not want to do seconds, you may want to show how many frames. So if I left click on here, that's saying it's at 0. Okay, I want to say there's an end point, so I left click on the blue little marker, tap I, and I'm just gonna put 90, hit enter, and see how the blue little marker goes to 90 frames. Okay, so I left click on the blue marker with my mouse, and then I tap the letter O for out, and see right there it's gonna say it's only going to play it for 3 seconds or 90 frames. Okay, I'm going to remove everything from my timeline right here. Anyway, so I would want to do that. So you can do a little bit of pre-editing and saying in and out points, okay, whether it's video or a still image, okay? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to go back to my assembly, okay, and I've already done that and done the 90 frames. Okay, so once I'm back in my bin, I'm going to left click and drag. These are all highlighted, and I go down here. This becomes no longer grayed out. It's called automate to sequence. I left click on that. I'm going to say I want it in selection order. This is the order it's in the folder, and if I for some reason made a mistake of the order, I'm going to hit cancel. I can left click and drag and change the order of it. So this will import in the order that it is in the folder, and then I'm going to left click on here. So I want sequentially. I can say clips will overlap, and so there will be like a dissolve, and it'll do it for 90 frames because I have 90 here. I'm going to use my in and out range, which I've specified, and then I'm going to hit OK. So boom, it'll apply it to wherever my playhead is. So my playhead was right here. I should have had it at the beginning, but I'm just going to track this back. And then I want to go back in, and I want to use my selection tool. I'm just going to double left click and expand these still images. But see how, I'm going to move my playhead, see how it's already added the cross dissolves, everything's going to be neatly put in your timeline together, and that is so convenient. So I've got these images right here. There you go. Alright, so the next thing I need to show you is how to make a track mat. Okay, so I'm going to go back to editing. I'm going to left click on the edit. Okay, so I am going to bring my playhead to the beginning. I'm going to tap the letter T for type. I'm going to left click over here. Okay, so you want to switch to graphics, and I'm going to go to edit, and I'm going to put text image. You want to use a very bold, strong typeface for this. So I increase the size of the type. I have my current fill as white. I mean, that's fine because it's going to be really, the image is going to show through. Okay, so how does this work? I have to make it follow on one clip, okay? So I'm going to set it for my beginning one. And then I'm going to select what is below it. It's really by what is above it that affects it. So I have to select the bottommost clip. I'm going to go to effects. I'm going to type in track. So here's the track mat key. I'm going to left click, drag it onto the image. You could do this with video. All right, so now that's been applied. I have an FX is green, and then I'm going to go over here to my effects control panel, and then instead of matte, it's set to none. I want to pick video 2. See, it's video 2, which is the type, right? boom, and it automatically does it. And so if I play this, so that's two things that should help you in your workflow. Okay, setting in and outs, automatic sequence, and then your track matting. There are a ton of features in effects in Adobe Premiere, but I just want to kind of cover those because those will be nice for your demo reels. All right, so that's how you do those special effects in Adobe Premiere.